I'm a people pleaser. It's the best thing that happened to me, and it's also the worst thing that happened to me. Because when you're a people pleaser, you come last.
What was your lowest low in having a team?
Having a team is very difficult. Like, I'm slowing down and growing my team. I think I'm about to stop. I am not in a rush to grow. I am not in a rush to get my heart broken.
What does success look like to you in real estate and in life?
Success begins at home. Having kids that are respectful, kids that are healthy, kids that want to be like you.
Why would you ever want to be on my team?
Because the expectations I have of myself, it's a lot, and it's not fair on them, to push it on them. But at the same time, I can't do it all. This is the way I look at it. I work my VIPs. If I've known you for years and, we have a relationship, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that I'm the hunter in the group. I know I'm the one that does the marketing. I'm the one that knows a lot of people. I attract strangers every day. So if I don't know you and we don't have too many mutual friends,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested in getting to date you all over, right? If I don't know you, I'm going to hand you off to, not hand you off, we're going to work together as a team.
Right.
Right? This is your opportunity to get to know this person. I get a lot of my leads on social media.
Yeah.
Hey man, I've been following you for a long time, blah, blah, blah. Can you help us out?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of look at it, I'm like, man, I have this team that that I'm nurturing. I have this team that, they need to get in the game.
Yeah.
They need to get their jersey dirty, like I call it. They need to go fail. They need to go fail forward. But I have structure. I bring my team along with me, on listing appointments, on buyer appointments, of people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're trying to sell your house. Hey, blah, 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 come into the house. I'll have an agent on my team that I'll put on the listing, right? So they can get exposure.
Right.
I'll bring them with me so they can learn the process live.
Mm-hmm. I do the same thing.
You just come hang out. You just come listen. Just come see how I do things. And if you can take one thing here and there from me that you can, apply to who you are, that's, I like to do like on the job training, like not like in class, like let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go together.
That's the only way. That's
So do I, completely love having a team? It's tough. It is tough because I take on a lot of people's stress. I take on a lot of people. I know my team.
Yeah.
I know they got kids.
You know their living situation.
I know their living situation.
You know they need to close this deal.
So
and you take on all that stress. My husband gets on me about that. He's like, it's not and I'm like, I can't sleep at night if they don't close this deal.
I know they got to pay that mortgage.
Yes.
I know they got to pay, but is it my problem? No,
Yeah.
no. But at the same time, I'm like,
They're family now.
they're family.
They're family now.
But having a team is very difficult.
What was your lowest low in having a team? When did you have any situation where you were really let down, disappointed?
Absolutely.
Can you think of one?
Oh yeah. I don't want to expose anybody.
No, you don't have to name names.
But yeah, man, when you just dive into someone and you just give them your all and you just give them more than you think they deserve, just so you can prove that you care, and they just walk away.
It hurts.
It hurts. Mm-hmm. It really, really hurts. Because I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
I believed in you.
Yeah.
And
I trusted that you would appreciate this.
Yes, but then whenever
I gave more than I had the capacity or the time for, but I gave it anyway because I saw something in you.
Like, I'm slowing down and growing my team.
Yeah.
I am slowing down.
I stopped.
I think I'm about to stop. Like,
Yeah.
I am not in a rush to grow. I am not in a rush to get my heart broken. Mm-hmm. I am going to spend my time with I have 4 now.
Yep.
I am going to give them my all, because what I've realized about my team that I see right now is the majority of the people that are left, everyone that's left, I've known for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They know me.
Yeah. Wow.
They I've known them for 20 years, 25 years, like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like 7, 8 years.
That's not a relationship you could just walk out
Correct.
the door, walk away from.
And those people know that, that I give grace, right? Like,
Right.
but
what is you're saying? The falling with grace or falling in grace?
well, I say it's easier for me to hold you accountable when you know that when I give you a lot of grace, it's easier for me to hold you accountable because I care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is just a tough conversation that has to be had. I can light you up respectfully.
Yeah.
Because I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I just met you a year ago,
Right.
I'm walking on eggshells trying to communicate with you.
Right.
In my business that I've created. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't recruit. That's my number one thing. I don't recruit. I'm not going to go to anybody and be like, hey, come here.
Yeah.
Never. Not doing it.
So how do your people approach you?
Yeah. You know, if you see something that I'm doing that you like and you have the courage enough and you want to talk about it, I'll sit with you.
Yeah.
If I think you'll be a good fit.
Right.
And if you're not, I'll tell you right off the bat, you know.
And here's why.
And here's why.
Which is also, I mean, that's giving back in and of itself, right?
Yeah. But I have been careless in some situations where I brought some people on, you know, to do favors, or, you know, they can change or this and that, you know. There was a point in my time, not gonna lie, Sarah, there was a time I was like, you know what? If I have 7 to 10 agents and each one makes $3,000, you know, a month, you know, that's $30,000 that I can make, and I don't have to go out and hustle.
Right.
That shit don't work.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of the money, and I'm not thinking of the vibe.
Yeah.
You know, because one person can kill the vibe of everybody.
One bad apple.
So I did, I did.
One bad apple will spoil the whole damn bunch. When I built a team, okay, I started the team out of necessity because I looked around. My children are small. I was not present.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now I've got a name for myself, and people want my services, but I physically cannot and mentally cannot be with every. So I needed that. And my sister and we got some development deals that came on the table, and we're like, okay, we need to grow this. Carelessly, okay, hired some people as favors, or let's bring this person on. They've got a great personality. Look at their social media reach, whatever. And God, it's like I took one step forward and 10 steps back.
I'm with
10
you.
steps back.
And I'm like, I think it's our heart. You know, I think it's our care for people. You know, I think it's our, you know, we believe in people and we want the best for people, that sometimes we forget about ourselves. You know, like you know, just right now, you know, in the last month when I got sick is when I said, I'm like, you know what, Bo, like you have to prioritize the priorities. Like, you know, like I gotta put me first.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't be out there trying to save the world and try to save everybody. I'm like, you know what? There comes a point in time where you sit back and think, like, man, is this person really worth it? Is this, you know, like, is this?
You got to do an assessment. I'm a giver. I'm a giver. My husband's like, you're a sucker. And I'm
My wife tells me the same stuff. She's like, you need to do this. And no,
but I learned from being burned. You know, I learned by being burned. But it was never about the money for me. It was never. I grew it out of necessity. And I realized that when I started thinking about the money a little bit, that's when shit went wrong.
Same.
Let me do the math. Let me go back to what I was doing before, which was doing it because of the vibe.
Correct.
Because once you have when that team member calls you and you don't want to pick up the phone,
they don't need to be on your
team. Don't need to be on your team.
Same. I've never heard it that way.
Yeah.
I've never heard that way.
Yeah, it's like if you're like, oh God, this phone call, then here we go again. Then they should not be on your team. And I started feeling that way about certain people.
Same.
And so I was like, this isn't right. Now I've got 4, and then we've got a transaction coordinator.
And I use your TC.
Happy. Yeah, that's
the same
right,
TC.
that's right. Isn't she the best?
Oh my God. She's
Tiffany,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tiffany.
Tiff,
She's the
thank
best.
you, girl.
Love that girl. She's been with us from the gate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like it small, and I know each and every one of them. And you know, Eleni's been my friend for years. Danny is like my little brother. Love that guy. He teaches me so much every day.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, this is cool. I'm cool right here. You know.
Yeah.
But absolutely, you would just stop. And even with selling in real estate, don't think about the money. Like, do not. As soon as you start thinking about that money, that's when shit goes wrong.
Yeah, and I agree. You know, my company slogan, you know, and which is probably what got me in trouble with, you know, bringing on the wrong people. My company slogan is "The food tastes better when we all eat together," right? And that's how I live.
Read that about you.
And I'm like, you know what? First class ain't fun if you're flying alone.
Yeah.
You know, first class ain't fun when your boys ain't coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how much fun is that?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way I kind of look at life. You know, like we all got to do it. That's the only way it's fun. You know, like imagine me eating alone at this big ass table.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lonely meal.
It is.
You know, but when the people that you care for and the people that share the same values, the people that have the same approach, when we eat together, that tastes like the vibe and the togetherness makes the meal itself taste better. You know, and that's the way I look at it. When I'm eating with people I love, you know, it's like, man, I want more. You know, I want, you know, let's take some and let's pass it around. And that's
what are we having for dessert? You
know what I'm saying? That's the way I approach business with people I do work with. And that's why, that's why I'm so generous to my team. But then I started thinking, not everybody deserves to be at that table.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can't go to the grocery store. I can't cook it, and I can't clean it, and I can't take you home.
Yeah.
I can't do all of it.
No.
Bring the wine.
Yeah.
Bring some water.
Do the dishes after.
Do the
Yeah.
dishes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't expect, don't eat in my house and get things dirty and leave and ask me, hey, when's the next one?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got that a lot from some people. Hey, Beau.
Nail on the head.
Hey, Beau. I need some leads.
Oh.
Let me go outside in my, lead well and let me get you some. How do you think I got
How about
it?
this one? The seller, who is a longtime friend of mine, is only paying 2%, right? And they're like, this is all the way in Dallas. Would you take this for 2%? And I'm like, oh, are you serious
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
Do you really have the audacity right now?
Yeah. So
I don't do rentals. I'm trying to get out of rentals. You've been doing this for a year. You're trying to get out of rentals? Oh my God, it blows my mind.
oh yeah.
They think it comes easy.
Oh yeah. So I think that mentality of the food tastes better when we all eat together is kind of dug me in some holes because of how I view life and how I view people. That I need to be more of a business person with the heart that I have. And I'm working on the being firm and being direct and just keeping it 100 with respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I don't I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I'm a people pleaser. And it's the best thing that happened to me, and it's also the worst thing that happened to me, because when you're a people pleaser, you come last. Then you start to resent people.
Yes.
Because you expect more out of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm
They
betting over
give them
back.
more opportunities to let you down.
And when you give someone an opportunity and they say, well, it's a lease. Well, I've shown them 10 houses already. I don't know when they're gonna buy. Like, it's a waste of time. I'm like, the lead that I went out and worked, that I cultivated through my relationships, this is how you're gonna treat it. So that I have a smaller table. Okay, I have a smaller table, but we're gonna eat good.
Yeah.
And that's what my team
Maybe it used to
knows.
be 120 inches. You could see 8. Now
Yeah.
it's like
Now
now
it's
it's like
like,
a
you know
60-inch
what?
round.
Now-
and
yeah.
you got like 5 there.
Yeah. And now the thing with having a smaller, intimate group is I can spend more time with them.
Yes.
You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? Like, I can,
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, because the value that I preach to my team is availability. Like, when you call, my answer. You want to go play pickleball, you want to go play basketball, you want to go do this. That's what I do with my team. We go play one-on-one basketball, we go golf, we go golf lessons. Like, I can actually spend time with them once a week if I wanted to, because there's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
Having 8, 9, 10 people, it kind of dilutes,
Right.
what I have to offer.
Exactly.
Where people will start, talking about, well, he's not available, he's too busy.
And then the mind starts turning, and it allows opportunity for the demons to get in. Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your about giving back, because I think that you have one of the coolest charitable events that you throw every year.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's funny that you say that. Me and
coming up?
my wife just left the hospital.
Oh.
And Children's, we
That's
just
right.
did a video at the hospital. Me and my wife, the children's health systems means so much to us, because growing back, I'll take it back. My mom worked for United Nations Children's Education Fund,
Right.
UNICEF. And, she did her thing with kids, with families, in war-ridden countries. And she's just served kids. And, growing up in Nigeria, I saw a bunch of kids that were sick. And I've been fortunate enough, and my family was fortunate enough to be blessed with great health.
No.
My wife, being in, healthcare,
Right.
she's seen the good and the bad and the evil of all of it. So when we met, we found out that we aligned, on the giving aspect. We found out that we have huge hearts, especially for kids, because of the way we parent together. She's very, her parents raised her well, my parents raised me well. So like, when this initiative, the opportunity came about, it was a no-brainer. I'm like, God's blessed me with great health. My kids are healthy. I want my kids to see what I saw when I grew up. When I grew up. So the initiative started as, let's take some food to the hospital, Thanksgiving, we're eating good, they should be eating good. These families, the last thing on their mind is a Thanksgiving meal when their kids are dying of cancer,
Right.
or, this and that. So it was an idea that we came up with, like, hey, let's take, 25 meals to Plano and 25 meals to Dallas. Then it became 50, then it became 100. And this year, hopefully it's 200 each. But what we really enjoy about it is seeing like other people going through a difficult time and knowing like we're a part of why they smile today, you know. Like it's just, you know, when God's given you, you know, when God's blessed you, you know, no one ever goes poor by overgiving, you know. Nobody ever goes, you know, you know, it's you know, so we're like, it's just the way we were raised. And as of today, you know, me and my wife committed $100,000 to children's children's health in Plano.
That's amazing.
Over the next 5 years. So that's why like the golf tournaments.
Yeah. So tell me about the golf tournament because I see it. I want to go. How come? First of all, I want to
you
be
know,
invited.
now that you know, so we committed $100,000 over the next 5 years. If we don't raise it, we write it.
Okay.
You know, while I pray that the good Lord puts us in a position where we can just stroke a check like that, I think it'd be better if we did it together. So the golf tournament, it's 100% of the money that's made goes to that. You know, the Children's Health in Plano, they're having an expansion of a new building. You know, you know, a lot of hospitals bring their kids to the Plano location because of, you know, the equipment that they have.
Yeah,
the
it's
staff
great.
that they have. So now they're
sick, that's
expanding and they reached out like, hey, you guys have been donating and helping us out for years. Y'all want to make it official?
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, you guys have been raising about $20,000 a year anyways. Like, let's make it official. So now the golf tournament, all the proceeds goes to that. We're going to do a pickleball tournament next year. We're going to start adding events just to bring people together for a good cause, you know. But yeah, so it's you know, let's call it a selfish thing, I guess, you know, but we just enjoy helping people in need, you know, especially kids, because I know families that have unhealthy kids and I cannot imagine. You know what I'm saying? I cannot imagine. So
there's nothing worse in this world than the helplessness that you feel.
you know, so
when your kid is sick with like a stomach ache, it kills you. So I just
I'm
imagine.
like, let me feel bad for her. You know, like,
exactly.
you know, I'm the one that brought this kid into this world. Like, damn, you know.
So the importance of giving back in business, I think that in life, it's super important. And what you just said, you know, no one ever goes broke by giving, you know, by too much charity. And I love that. And it's true. I feel like the more you give back, the more you get. Not everybody is of the same mindset. I feel like I had to coax my husband into finally having that same mindset. And you know, he's an amazing guy, but you know, he kind of had this like this very cynical chip on his shoulder all the time. You know, I keep
Nobody gave me
yeah, exactly. And I think that I've definitely helped in changing that because I feel like you can never give too much. Like you can never give too much, you know, charity. But it's also really good, I think, even for business, and that's how you get it back. So doing this charitable event every year that you take so much time and so much effort out of. Do you have a lot of clients show up to these events?
My clients, they support. You know, I have my client appreciation, you know, dinner every year. You know, and it's they bring gifts and they bring books that we take to the hospital.
That's beautiful.
You know, like I don't ask them to
incorporate it into your business.
So now it's you know, and they look forward to it every year. You know, like we do it together. It's not a Beaux and Lindsay thing. You know, it's a community thing. You know, like my portfolio, my clients are my family. You know, like
they absolutely.
You know, like
what a blessing to be able to say that, right? I'm sure it took you the time to get there, but
you know, we're honest with each other. Our values align, and you know, and that's how I kind of look at who I want to do business with. It's like, man, can I see myself hanging out with you for 30, 60 days without me wanting to choke you? You know what I'm saying?
Do you pick up the phone and you shudder when they call, or do you want to pick up that call?
You know what I'm saying? So like we align, you know, my clients look forward to it. My clients are amazing. I'm thankful. I'm no one without my clients. You know, they put me and my wife in a position to be able to do things like this, you know, because, you know, I don't take the opportunities for granted. You know, I don't, you know, I know people have options, you know, so when I say, why me? I take that really personal, you know? So I'm like, I feel like I'm the kind of person that I feel like I need to keep finding ways to be valuable every day. You know, be it bringing people together, be it, you know, let me just call and check in. Hey, my favorite thing to do is, hey man, I don't need much. I just want to make sure you don't.
You are really, really good at the check-ins.
I
have to say.
When I think, I call.
It's brilliant. I think that I have to get better at implementing that. If they pop into your mind, pick up the phone at that very moment.
And if they don't answer, they'll see the missed call.
They'll know that you were thinking about them. And I learned that kind of, you know, my husband's the same way, but I learned that from you, and I love that about you. I don't go more than a month without hearing from you.
I think about you and I'm like, you know what? What's you up to?
I love it.
I'll see like, you know, your name
and
somewhere.
I love that.
Or like
I love
a black
that phone
Tesla.
call.
I'll just be like, you know what? hey girl, I just want to check up on you, love you, just, that's it, gotta go.
But I mean, that's so good for your business. And I think that a lot of agents, and they're so transactional, and once it's over, it's over. But even, and they don't stay top of mind. They don't check up on their client. If you don't care, the business is not going to come. Like, it goes hand in hand for sure.
And you can't lead, the way I also say, you can't lead with business as to why you do things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you have to want to do it.
Yeah.
And the business,
you got to be genuine for sure. People can smell it, like you said, the commission breath.
People can smell it a mile away. But, like, I've noticed that the most successful people in this business are people who actually care.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to take the word transaction out. I like to use the word experience, because a transaction just sounds like, even though it is, you're transacting business, but like, I like to use the word experience because it is an experience. You're curating the home buying experience. Like, you are, it's one of the biggest purchases, if not the biggest, of most people's lives, right? And that experience from start to finish, you got to do your best to make sure that these people are happy and they're, they are well informed.
Yeah.
And, and you keep them in track when they need to be in track.
You control the controllables. Obviously, there's going to be things that are going to be, that are going to go awry, and there's things that are going to go wrong. But if they know they have an ally, somebody who really cares about, their well-being and about the outcome of this, it's going to make the experience so much better. They don't feel alone.
Yeah, it's easier for me to, get us back on track when you know that I care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I care. At the end of the day, this is not for me to close this deal and make money. We have the same goal in mind.
Yeah.
But you've got to be genuine in that.
Be genuine.
You really have to be genuine.
And you got to know how to communicate. You got to know, you got to know how to communicate. You got to know when to communicate. You got to learn the people you work with. If somebody's working 9 to 5, don't call them at 9 to 5. Find out when their break is. Find out, do you prefer me to call you, text you, or email you? You have to work all day on emails. Clearly, I should email you.
Yeah.
Because you're there. Can you not use your phone at work? Why would I call you when I know you're working at a 9 to 5 job, but your phone's got to be away? You know what I'm saying?
You got to be adaptable. You got to be personable, and a lot of people struggle with that. And
it's real estate is one of the most stressful but most fulfilling careers out there. It is. We're therapists. We are, concierge, we are, we're all of it.
Yeah, we're life financial advisors. Yeah. We're life advisors. Yeah.
So it's
absolutely.
But going back to the giving aspect of it, man, I'm a sucker for giving. A homeless person, man, if I'm driving, I see a homeless guy and I have a 20 in my pocket, you better believe they're getting it.
Same.
Even though they might go do drugs with it.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't know what they're going to. And I'm like, that's not up to me. That's between them and God. Yeah. But at least,
I felt in that moment that I needed help and I got it. I'm driving this nice car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? Here you go, man. Whatever you do with it is up to you.
It's up to you. So hopefully you make the right choice, but that's not on me. That's on you.
So if I can give to the homeless, I can give to the kids, at the hospital.
I love that.
If I can, there was a point in time in my life where I needed help, but I was too proud to ask for it, and I think, and some people around me that noticed that I need help, they helped me, and they gave me that hand without me saying anything because they knew I was struggling, so I'm like, you know what? God's blessed me enough to put me in a position now where, I can pay my bills on time.
Yep.
Sprint doesn't have to call me anymore. It's about my phone.
Right.
I ain't got to do no promise to pay anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about a repo guy chasing me around town anymore. You know what I'm saying? That was me back in the day.
Right.
So now I can pay my bills on time. I can help people, not lazy people, but people who are unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. It's, I don't think success has a dollar amount. I don't think, at least not to me. I think it's about how you feel about yourself and, where you are and where you've come from, know? So I think it's always important, to realize, and never forget where you came from, because just as easy as you got it, well, God can take it away. What he gives, he can take. So I think, having a humble spirit, having a giving heart, and just being genuine, just being an honest person and working hard. I think it's a good recipe for success if you, if you like to use that word for yourself. But it's, I think, every day you learn something, every day, there's an opportunity to grow, and you can also have an opportunity to complain if you want to, but, I think every experience for me is a learning process. Like, what did I learn from that? what could I have done better in that situation? You know, why did I get fired? You know what I'm saying? Why, you know, why did that relationship not work? What part was my responsibility? You know, I think when you can have that conversation with yourself and when you can look at that man in the mirror and keep it real, hey, bro, you're messing up. You know what I'm saying?
I just
You're messing up. You
people
can do better.
They have egos and they just can't do that introspection. They can't, you know, take a step back and say, what did I, you know, and I learned a long time ago from someone who said, you know, every time you point your finger, you've got 3 pointing back at you. And so that stuck with me. And I'm always like, what did I do wrong? And I'm constantly saying, okay, this was my fault. And maybe I'm too extreme on that side. My husband's always like, you are so hard on you, you know? And I'm
My
like,
wife tells me the same.
because there's got to be room for improvements. Where did I go wrong here? You know?
What could I have done better?
So this brings me it's kind of off topic, but I really want to talk about this because I think that not a lot of people address this. But you're the perfect person to talk about this with. So one day I had that mentee with me, that little high school student, remember? He was a friend's kid and we met up for some hookah and some food and Taj was there. You guys just so happened to be hanging out. And I'm like, let's see if Beaux can give his, you know, give some of his wisdom to this kid about the real estate game. But through that conversation, you had mentioned that you were out in a public place and you were with your wife and your babies, and somebody was like just getting too close to the stroller, and was like basically approaching the baby. And you were like, hold up, wait a minute. But then you had to take a step back real quick and think to yourself, I'm a 6'7" Black man. And the way that I react, right, in this situation, it can have a lot of consequences for me that it wouldn't necessarily have for anybody if my skin was this and not this. And it got me thinking about a few things. We have an agent in our office who is a very successful Black man who came from Houston, had his own brokerage, lots of agents under him, moved to Dallas. And then he came to me and he wanted to know if we were hiring for our team. And I'm like, why would you ever want to be on my team? I can learn way more from you than you can learn from me. And he told me, he was like, this is Dallas. I'm a Black man. It is not easy to get the business that I was getting even in Houston as it is to get it here. And I just kept thinking about the subject of race in real estate. You came to a broker open. I don't know if you know this. You came to a broker open, $4.5 million house, remember? And Gloria actually brought this to my attention, that the neighbor had called and started going off on a rant because 2 Black men were driving in a big truck, making noise, and what the hell is going on over there? She didn't see any of the other event. All she saw was 2 Black men.
Me and my videographer.
You and your videographer. And I'm like, I mean, look, my last name is Fakih. I struggle with that a little bit, but I could walk into a room full of Italians and be Italian. I can walk into, you know, there's a little bit of that in my last name is not, you know, Johnson, but it you know, and it's Fakih. And so there's a little bit of, you know, I might experience a little taste of that discrimination when it comes to being Arab or whatever. But I started doing some research, and 6% of brokers in the United States, real estate brokers, are Black men. The rest of them are white men or white women. And this is Texas, and this is Frisco. And I always say that it's very diverse, and we've got a melting pot here, and it's great. But the success that you have, it's not like you're one of very many, you know? Yeah. How does race play into your business? Is it more challenging for you? Or do you think that it's an asset? Tell me about this experience, being a Black male in real estate, 6'7".
Good question. And it's unfortunate that neighbor out there did that.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, we are in Texas, and it is what it is, to each its own. But I've dealt with racism, you know, in the past. I've dealt with it, you know, not often, but in the past, I have. You know, I've almost been shot. I've almost jumped. I've been in some fights, trying to fight my way out of it. But how do I deal with it in today? Does it affect my business? I would say not negatively.
Okay.
Because I think I've learned how to deal with it from the experiences that I've had in the past. Mm-hmm. I have a more mature mindset, than I used to have. And I'm very woke of who I am, where I'm from and what I look like. So I'm very, I used to be very naive, nobody cares. It's black people everywhere, till my wife brought it to my attention. She was like, hey, babe, you're driving all these little backcountry roads. Maybe you should start carrying a gun. And I was like, what? I don't think of that, know? And, but I do realize I'm 6'7", I'm black. And when I walk into a room, I know that people notice me. But if you notice me, my posture is different when I walk into a room. I don't stand too tall because I know I could be seen as a aggressive. There's this, label that the African American society has or had, and I've taken it personal to be like, I want to be the change.
Yeah. But you have to be conscious of that.
I'm very conscious of it.
You walk into a room and you change your posture.
Yeah, I change my posture. I want to be inviting.
Yeah.
I don't want to look intimidating.
Right. Because automatically you look intimidating.
And my
trainer told me that this morning. He was like, Sarah can show up on a Sunday morning, and run out and show a $3 million property in her Lululemons and her sweats and her hair. And the clients will understand that, oh, Sarah, she's a busy mom, whatever. She's like, and he's a big black man. And he's like, I'm a black man. I can't show up in my sweats and go show them. I have to leave what I'm doing, go home, change, and then go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's very inconvenient.
Yeah.
It's very inconvenient.
Yeah. I mean, the whole race thing, to me, I've taken it personal in a positive way.
Okay.
I want to be the one to erase that stigma.
Yes.
I want to be the one to be like, you know what? That's not who we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of, people in different races who their race aren't proud of. I want my race to be proud of me.
Right.
Like I want to be a pioneer. I want to be an example to those black kids or those black girls or the Mexican or the
young black realtor.
Or the young black realtor. I get those phone calls.
Yes.
They're like, Beau, I appreciate you this and I'm like, I'm not doing anything for you, bro. I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think my skin color should be the reason why I get or don't get business. So I am going to lead with my character and I am going to lead with how I present myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I am going to lead with please and thank you. I'm going to lead with respect. I'm going to lead with the way I was raised. I'm a product of my environment and I understand. I'm in Texas. I know racism is still out there. I get it.
You got to be a little more aware. You got to be a little more.
I got to do extra.
I don't think twice about, closing up an open house at 7:00 in the evening in, Highland Park or whatever. And somebody might call and think that I'm breaking in.
Yeah.
You got to think about those things.
Yes, I do. I do. And it's sad. However, can I, if every time someone calls me the N-word, and if I fought every time I got called in, would I be in jail or back in Nigeria, right? Like I need to diffuse. I need to take the hurt out of that word, and I have to look at you and say, "Man, you're ignorant," and it's not my job to fix you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It is my job to, to fix it. To fix the outlook on us. And I take that really personal. Meaning. I'm the one, like, I take things personal and I want to fix it, not like I want to kill you, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know what? I don't want to hear that again.
Right.
I want to be that change. I want to be a voice for the voiceless, in the African-American community, with any community, black, white, let's just put us whole. I want to do things the right way, because I know my kids are watching me. You made that example. I was somewhere in Dallas and some guy started taking pictures of my kids.
That's right. It was taking pictures.
Ooh. And then I had, my 7-year-old with me and my 1-year-old with me. My wife wasn't there, it was just me and the kids. And let's go eat at one of my favorite places, Katie Trail Ice House. Let's go sit on the patio, eat. We ate. And we're leaving, this guy's taking pictures. And I asked him politely to stop. And he got in my face about my kids. Now I had a decision to make. Mm-hmm. If I did something, I'm the angry black guy.
Right.
And that's it. And I have my kids with me.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what your side of the story is at that point.
And I asked him again, and he popped off. Then one of my friends came and grabbed my 7-year-old that I met there, and he was like, Daddy's talking to this guy, which I really appreciated. So I look at the guy, and I had a decision to make. I'm mad, I'm boiling. This is a privacy thing. You're taking a picture of my kid in a stroller, and I'm asking you to stop, and you talking shit to me.
Right.
So like, that's what I deal with. I have to realize who I am, where I am, who I'm with, and the consequences of my actions. Like, am I reacting or am I responding? It's a fine line.
Yeah.
I chose to respond, not react. Was it difficult? Yeah. But I was like shaking, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and his table was like talking shit to me, and I'm like, let's go.
That's what I'm saying. I would have started swinging. I
Even if I would have got loud,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody else they see my response or my reaction, and that's what they judge me off of.
Yeah.
The person who retaliates normally gets in trouble. And I'm like, I looked at it, and it was one of those moments where I was like, golly, like, is this what this world is all about?
Yeah.
I literally have to be like, bro, you're 6'7", you're African American, you're in this bar, ain't nobody else in here look like you.
Yeah.
It just happens to be my favorite bar because they treat me like Beaux, and they did the right thing, removed the guy after I left. When I told them not to, they called me, make sure everything was good. I'm like, no, don't remove him. It's not my place. They were like, no, we can't have that kind of person in here. So like the way the establishment kind of took care of it while I was gone really made me feel special. By the end of the day, it hurt.
Yeah.
My daughter said something about it. She still says something about it.
Yeah.
But now my daughter knows Dad more.
Yeah.
You know? What happened, Daddy? I'm like, he was taking pictures of y'all, and I didn't like that. I don't know that guy. I don't know where these pictures are going to go. So I was asking him to stop taking a picture. Well, why was he yelling at you, Dad? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, the race thing, I try not to go there a lot, but it does exist.
Yeah, it's
a thing.
And so, I mean, I guess, and I'm sure that people who, what advice would you give a young, real estate agent who is coming into the business in Texas or anywhere, as a Black male or female, is there, what advice would you give them? Is this going to be a bigger challenge for them, or is it like don't even make it an issue?
Don't make it an issue.
Yeah.
But be aware of your surroundings. Be woke, right? I've heard this before. We have to work 5 times as hard.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And
but you're stronger for it.
But the quicker you accept it, and quicker, if you're a hard worker, working 5 times as hard is nothing. It's all a mindset, right? There are those people out there. It was like, oh, the race card. It's because I'm this. I've never pulled a race card. Even though I know it exists, but I like to say, the reason I didn't get that position or get that job is because I wasn't the best qualified, not because of my skin color. Right? Am I prepared? Do I know my stuff? Did I present myself well? Would I hire me? As a Black man, if I was interviewing this Black realtor that came into my house, would I hire me? And that's how you have to carry yourself. Like, don't lead with the race. Lead with your character. Lead with your hard work. Lead with grace. Lead with, learning people, right? Not judging people. I think it's unfortunate that it's a world that we live in, but it is the harsh reality.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It is perfect. The harsh reality of this.
Wasn't that perfect?
It's
perfect.
It's just, it is what it is. Am I accepting it? No. But it is. But you know what? I want to be the change I wish to see in the world. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it's little baby tiny steps. Like, what is it? How do you speak? How do you carry yourself? Are you a listener? How is your do you get angry? Do you fit what they're saying you are? You know what I'm saying? Because when someone calls me those words, I'm like, I'm not that.
Yeah. You're like, me?
You ignorant, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's on you, bro. You ignorant as hell. Not in me. But I'll show you, though. So I've been through it in this country, I mean, when I got here to school, some kid asked me, you from Africa? How come you have clothes on?
Oh, my gosh.
Can't show up to school naked, like... I had the same, mentality when I got here. When I saw Texas on TV, all I saw was cowboys and horses.
Right.
I didn't ask.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, there's more to it.
Yeah.
So it's all
When I got here when I was 22, I thought the same thing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, people are normal here. There's
Yeah,
different
I'm
colors.
like-
I was expecting all cowboys.
Yeah, I got called African booty scratcher. I got called everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, you know, but I was like, man, if I got in a fight every time somebody offended me, or if I addressed every offense that I felt I was dealt,
Right.
man, I wouldn't be sitting here. Like, my energy needs to be, you know, into something that's positive, something that's uplifting.
Right.
You know, and I'm not comparing myself to Jesus by any means, but, you know, that dude died for our sins. You know what I'm saying? He had a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can take a little verbal abuse.
Right.
You know, I can take a little verbal lash.
Right.
You know, like, I'm not comparing myself to him by any means, but it's like, you know, died for us.
No, but I think it's an important conversation to have. And that's the thing is, like, we have, in order to address the problem, we have to talk about this being an issue. And I think that a lot of people might, you know, like I said, a young realtor coming up, you know, being a black girl or a black guy might say, well, they might pull the race card, you know? And so
it's easy to pull.
It's easy to pull. And so you're right, you're woke. And I think that it's good having someone like you know, as an example and as a mentor that says, look, I'm not going to let that be, you know, the reason or the challenge, right? I'm going to take that and I'm actually going to flip it and I'm going to turn it on its head. Do I have to work 5 times harder?
Yeah.
I
But
have
it's only
to.
going to get you ahead quicker.
Exactly.
You know, like, if you're not scared of the work, you know, everything is work. You know, nothing is convenient, right?
Right.
Today wasn't convenient. I wanted to be here. The work is not convenient, but I want to do the work.
Yeah.
Because that's the only time where it feels really good, when you put it to work.
Absolutely.
You know, there's no shortcut to success. There's no shortcut to, you know, getting past the race thing. Acknowledge the fact that it's going to happen, but gotta learn how to deal with it.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, you have to learn how to deal with it. You know, being a woman, you know, my wife is in healthcare. It's a good old boys club.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you talk about minorities. You know, she's the VP of sales for United Healthcare. It's a good old boys club.
Yeah.
She married a black dude.
And she married a black guy.
So, like, she might not think of that, but I think about it.
You think about
Because I'm
it.
like, you know what? I am going to represent what she's worked so hard for. I'm going to represent her well.
Yeah.
I am not going to be the reason why there's an asterisk of what my wife has achieved. You know what I'm saying? I am not going to be that reason. I am going to carry myself well, because that's what I'm called to do. I was raised right by my parents, but I understand my surroundings. I understand that these kids that I have brought into this world, and this wife that chose me, you know, I got to do my part.
Yeah.
And my part is learning how to respond instead of react. You know, be careful with my words. You know, I lead by example.
You're always dressed to the nines.
Yeah,
You always present like such a gentleman.
Thank you. I went to a military high school in Africa where
Yes.
we had to dress every day.
Yeah.
We had a uniform on.
I have never seen you not dressed. Even in your athleisure, it's so put together.
I thank you.
Yes.
I've always been like that, and I think it helps in business.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's,
You've got to
something
dress
else.
the part. I had in law school, I had a professor who said, you know, when it's test day, you do not show up in sweats. You get dressed in your suit. You show up like you're going to court, you know, and you have to put yourself in that mindset. And so I try not to leave the house without, you know, being presentable.
You don't have you don't get a second chance at a first
impression.
First impression.
True that.
And I'm big on that. If I'm going to Kroger, I'm looking the part. If I'm going to Walmart, like, you know, it could be sweatpants, but I want to look like I tried, because people pay attention.
They
like
do.
details. People pay attention to all the details.
Oh,
you know,
from
You're
head to
like,
toe.
If he's probably going to work hard and be detailed for me.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
he's probably going to treat my daughter right. You know, he's probably going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it starts from the outside, right? Absolutely.
You know, man, to bring it all, you know, the race thing, it's important. The hardworking thing, it's important. You know, the team, you know, be careful who you surround yourself with. You know, I always say, you know, you are an average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. You know, like, that's who you are.
So true.
You know,
So surround yourself with good people.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know, my friends that I keep, the company I keep, the team that I keep, you're an extension of me. You're a representative of me, just like you are of me too. So, like, is that how I really want to be?
Absolutely.
You know, I'm getting to the point where now, you know, it's easier for me to cut people off. It's easier for me to stand up for myself, for what I believe.
No more Mr. Nice Bowl.
You know, no more. You know, no more. But I'm gonna stand.
I've got to get better at that.
I gotta get better at it too. But man,
I want to ask you something else, because this, you know, what this, the intent of this podcast, okay, is really, you know, we talk about insights into real estate, but really the goal for me with this is trying to understand how to have true work-life balance. How can you have a successful real estate career, success in however you want to define it, and at the same time be successful in your personal life, whether it be with your interpersonal relationships at home, as a father, as a husband, as just a person who exercises, takes care of their health, all of those things. And I always see you in the gym doing your thing, and I feel like you're very balanced. And I always, when I see you out, it's you're pushing a stroller and you're with wifey, and you guys have date nights, and I see, and you've got this beautiful balance. And so, first of all, what does your day look like since you come from a military school? How important is routine in real estate? Let's start there.
I think it's everything. The priority, is my family is my priority. Like none of it works if home ain't good. I don't get to be myself on Instagram and talk about what I'm doing and show these houses when I'm not good at the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But a lot of people are like that.
I can't.
You would not know.
I can't do that.
That
it's not,
they've got it's a mess in there.
My house can't be messy, and I'm over here faking the funk.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I take some time off of social media, I got some stuff going on. I can't. You don't see through me. I don't feel right.
You're not gonna fake it.
Yeah. And I feel like the support of my household is key. Especially my wife. My wife is. The person you marry is very important. The person you marry, I'll tell you out there, if you're trying to get married, be careful.
Especially if you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
The person you marry is very important.
The most important decision you will ever make in your entire life is the partner you choose.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Because, and I think communication, clear and open lines of communication with respect, is key. My wife has to know what I'm going through so she can know how to help me and serve me. I have to know what she's going through so I can know how to help her and serve her. I used to be very bad at communicating because I'm like, I don't want to bring my negativity into your life. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good, baby. I don't want to bring you down.
Do you keep it all in?
I keep it all in. Then I blow.
Mm-hmm.
Till we had great talks. And she tells me, I'm like, you know what, man? Let me try that. And I'm like, now me and my wife, there's no conversations that's too big and there's no conversations that's too small.
Yeah.
She knows everything about me. So now she can know how to handle me. Like, why is he acting like that? That's not him.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong?
So she's your best friend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. She's my best friend. She knows everything. She knows me.
You put time into that relationship.
Girl, it wasn't
easy. I see you guys together out. Like, what do you have some rules to the relationship? Because the kids can really get to you. Kids and work. What are the boundaries? What are the rules as far as
we come first.
Yeah.
Not the kids.
Okay.
Me and you first. Okay. We gotta be on the same page so we can be great parents. Okay. There's no problem in between us. It's me and you against the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like it's us against the world, not, Lindsay, Beaux, problem. Nah. It's us against that, So that's our number one rule. We talk about everything. We're completely honest about everything. Finances, health, friendship. If I'm fighting with one person, someone's like, she gotta know. Mm-hmm. I gotta know. And it's not easy. We've been together 10 years now. We're getting better each day, getting better each year. But we prioritize us. Date night is a must.
How often?
We don't say every week but sometimes, but our date nights sometimes aren't always dress up and go. Mm-hmm. Our date night is, hey, let's put the kids down. Let's go outside. Mm-hmm. Let's go sit by the pool.
Yeah, that's a total legitimate date night.
And also, let's, we go and eat, we hang out, we prioritize ourselves. We met out. Mm-hmm. We met on a Sunday fun day in Uptown.
Yeah, you guys both love having a good time.
We love having a good time because we know we work hard.
Yeah.
We work hard and we have to hit that reset button. That date night is so important. Like togetherness is so important. Like celebrating milestones is so important. Celebrating tiny victories is so important because I know what she goes through in her career. She knows what I go through. And sometimes our date night is just hey, how are you? The most important question you can ask your spouse is, not what's up. Hey, babe, how are you?
Thank you. Can you talk to my
There's a
husband?
difference
We
between...
fight about this. I'm like, just ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
like, how are
yes.
you? Like,
Yeah.
how's Lindsay the person, not Lindsay the VP?
Right.
How's Lindsay the person?
So important.
It's like, so like, I gotta know, man. I gotta know because she's my homie, like we take that for better, for worse. We take it very seriously. When we got married, I did not rehearse my speech. I did not write it down. I came out there and I freestyled. And I remember the last thing I said, I promise to protect your peace. Right. And I live by that. Like, is my action right now protecting my wife's peace? She's not here. She don't see what I'm doing. But I'm the one that said that. She didn't write it for me. I'm the one that said it. You know what I'm saying? And is what I'm doing right now protecting your peace? If it's not, then don't do it. If I can't go out with my boys and come home and brag about the things we did, I shouldn't be hanging out with those boys.
Right.
If I got to come out and I have to leave out some parts of it.
Ugh, exactly.
Because there's only one way you can tell the truth. You can tell over and over and over again, and it's the same way. So I live by those rules. It's like, look, am I protecting your peace right now? Is she protecting my peace right now? And if we can both answer that honestly, everything else will fall in place.
Is there something that you can do better in your relationship?
Absolutely. I can help more around the house. Absolutely. And I'm trying, and I'm making a conscious effort. I can help around the house more. I'm very involved with the kids.
Is that a contentious thing in your household? Like, is she like, you need to help more?
No.
And no?
I just feel guilty when she's picking shit up after me.
Yeah.
Like
I
look at it and I'm like, like,
I could have put those clothes in that basket and put it in the
and I
locker,
think sometimes it hurts more when she doesn't say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Oh, she's rolling her eyes to herself.
I can help more. I could be, I could be more patient with the kids. I think, my thing is I don't get, me and my kids have a good relationship, great relationship. The only time I get mad at my kids is when they take advantage of my wife. That's when I go off. Me and my kids don't have that. They know who dad is. I'm dad. I love them hard. And, they know not to mess around when mom's not around. But that, I would never know what it feels like to be a mother. Just like y'all would never know what it feels like to be a father. And I need to keep that in my mind. I need to lead with that whenever I see my wife and my kids interact. I need to know that Lindsay's mom and Beau's dad. Sometimes I like, what the hell, this and that. You don't let me get away with stuff like that. But, she's 7 years old. She's going to grow up to be 8, 9, 10, thinking this is how to do things. That's what I think, But I'm also not the one who carried her in my stomach. I am not the one who went through birth. I'm not the one who, my body didn't change, of course, when my hormones didn't change. So I didn't do that. So
Can
I
we
need
all
to
find Beau's?
No,
Can you clone a Beau?
I guess, I think about it. Like
It's
when
good
I
that
try to
you're
give,
so
when I try to
aware.
give my wife grace and Brendan grace and my kids grace, I'm like, what? Sometimes I got to sit back. I'm like, you know what, Beau? Your part in this baby making process was fun.
It lasted like a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, my part was fun. I didn't go through the body change, the stretch marks, all that, labor. I didn't go through that. So like, I have to respect that, and I always calm down sometimes and now kind of like, you know what, Beau?
Yeah.
Just like she doesn't understand why you're being tough on these kids, I can't understand why she's being lenient in some things because that's their time to bond.
Yeah.
And while I think, me being tough on my kids is whenever they leave the house and they remember what dad said that one time. You know what I'm saying? It sticks. You cannot hear it, because there are a lot of things that my parents did that I didn't get back then. Like, why did we go to a military school?
Yeah.
We lived in a gated community, right? There's a private school right outside, not too far that everybody that went in my neighborhood went. But my dad decided to drive us 30, 40 minutes to a military school. Why? I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now. Because the person who I am today, is a combination of my life experiences growing up as a child.
Yeah.
Discipline, respect, all that was beat into me.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of people who get into this industry, I think that if they are not disciplined, they will not succeed. You've got to be even more disciplined than if you had a 9-to-5 job, obviously, because no one's directing you and telling you where to be and how to be, and there's no manual, an operating manual that tells you what you got to do every day in order to be successful. You've got to figure this shit out.
You got to figure it out.
So, what is Beau's routine? What's your success routine? What do you do every day?
I'm very calendar driven.
Okay.
Very, very gyms on the calendar, date nights on the calendar.
Good.
this is on the calendar, appointments is on the calendar, everything is on there. I like to, have my day prepared the night before,
Yes.
not the morning of. I want to hit the ground running with my schedule.
Right.
What I need to start learning to do more is say no. It's something that's very difficult for me, that I feel like, as routine and as, calendar driven as I am, sometimes I feel like an open spot on my calendar is meant to be filled. And I need to start deviating from that.
Yeah.
My routine, normally gym twice a week. Me and my wife alternate, bedtime with the kids. One night I do Bryn, one night she does, we flip. We get up in the morning before the kids. Sometimes we have coffee. Sometimes we go outside and hang out, kind of talk about, what you have going on today so she can know how to serve and help me and vice versa. But my daily routine, get up at between 6 and 6:30. I'm trying to get 8 hours of sleep now.
That is so important.
I
You're
was
not
a
getting
4-hour
8?
guy. I was
No,
till
don't
like
be
a month
that guy.
ago.
You can't.
Till like 4 months to like a month ago.
This is no
But
good.
I got sick.
Yes.
But routine wise, man, I like to show up early. I'm big on being late. Like, I don't like being late. Like it irks me. I feel like it's disrespectful to the people who planned the event and the people who showed up on time. So like being on time is key, to me.
You text me like 15 minutes before we were supposed to meet, and you're like, I'm 8 minutes away. I'm like, shoot, I'm still putting on my eyelash.
Yeah, I'm, because it just gets underneath my skin. If I'm like, bro, we're like, this appointment was being 10:30 for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't change it this morning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all the
it's
external
really important.
circumstances.
And it sets the tone for the entire meeting,
Yeah.
right? It really does.
Yeah, but talking about routine, I got that from my wife. I wasn't a calendar person. I used to tell her, hey, don't forget we have that wedding tomorrow night. She's like, what?
Yeah.
I got to find a dress to wear. Like, but what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I thought I told you 2 weeks ago. So now everything's on the calendar.
Yeah,
like,
everything's on the
We just
calendar.
put it on there and we live by it. And man, I think
Do you do to-do lists?
we just put everything on the calendar.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, in real estate, there's so many to-dos, right?
Yeah.
You got to send this, settlement agreement for this, and that. You've got to, make sure you put a lockbox in it. Like I have to-do.
I have like things that I check off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
In real estate, I thought you were talking about like.
Just life.
Like
yeah,
life.
I know. I
Yeah.
am. But in real estate, it's like the calendared events, obviously, I live by my calendar
Yeah.
too.
I mean,
and my sister, it's so funny because she is crazy busy. And she's like, I just started using my calendar. And I'm like, how did you
How
survive?
have you can be so
How
much
do you,
more efficient.
Yes. I'm like, how did you
Yeah.
survive? She's like, I'm getting better at it. I'm like, oh my goodness. Everything has to go in the
Yeah.
calendar.
Yeah,
Everything.
everything has to. But
Especially now with these kids and all of their things.
you got
that they
another
have
one
to do.
coming, girl.
Number 4, all the things that they have to do.
How old are you?
37.
Okay. You're young.
Young. I don't mind. I'll shout it to the
You're
world.
young. You're young. I'm
I'm gonna
40.
be 38 soon.
You're gonna be a great mother again.
Thank you. You know what? You'd said this about your last one, and that you really wanted to be present, and you were grinding with Bryn and all of the things. And the reason why we decided to do this one, and I think having a team really helped with this. I find that I have time.
Yeah.
As busy as I am in real estate, and as much, I'm not doing less production than I've been doing. In fact, I have more production.
Correct.
But I have more time somehow. And it's having the people in the place, in the right places who I can trust to delegate certain things to that would just, take a lot of my time. And so we decided, Amr and I both, that like the first 3, he was doing the medical school thing in his residency. I was in law school, and then, doing the real estate career. I don't hardly remember any of it. We were
Same.
opening businesses.
Yeah.
I cannot recall when my almost 12-year-old was a baby. I barely.
Yeah.
And
you can't forget that stuff. It sticks with you. I'm
Yeah.
like, and the reason we have bond is like we talked about it. I'm like, babe, I'm 44.
Yeah.
She's late 30s, and I'm like, like babe, like I feel like Bryn, like we were just wasn't planned.
Yeah.
Like we got pregnant.
Yeah.
And
you
it's
were
like,
figuring
and
it
we were
out.
Figuring it
Yeah.
out. Like with Vanessa, she's in Austin. I'm like, babe, I want us to like go through the motion.
Right.
Like go through it.
Yeah, we were like, let's do this and like pay attention to all the
this,
little
like
stages.
what you put in your body, like
Yes.
all this, and it's been a total blessing, man. Like having children is
Have another one. Come on.
No. And the reason why.
Jump on my bandwagon,
This is the
please.
reason why. I made a promise. I made a goal. I made a very big goal to have the option to retire by 50. Okay. I made that goal.
I like how you said that, to have the option to retire by 50, not to retire by 50.
Have the option.
Yes.
Right. And
Because you're never going to stop working.
I don't think so, but I want to have that option.
Yes.
Right? Like I want to work so hard right now, and I want to just go. I just want to put my family in a position to where, if my wife wanted to walk away from corporate, she can. You know, because everything's set in place.
And if you wanted to take the summer off and hang out and
I do want to take
Greece.
the summer off.
Yeah, and
You
then,
know, we
then
want to
you
go to
can.
Hawaii every summer.
Yes.
We want to travel.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be able to have that option where I can, if I need to work, I can answer the call. There.
So that brings me to my final question for you. What does success look like to you in real estate and in life? In real estate,
success doesn't have a dollar amount to me. Success is having people who look up to you. Success is having people that you motivate. Success is having a great relationship at home, because I think that that bleeds out. I think success is a state of mind. Success to me is being better than you were yesterday. I think success doesn't have an end. I think it has a middle. You know, success is a mentality. You know, success is, to me, success to me is paying my bills on time. So let's talk about the money part. Right? You know, I've been evicted before. I've had my car repossessed before. And I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not too proud to say it. You know? So to me, you know, being able to go and, you know, to be myself, you know, and to be able to provide for my family, you know, I say that's success. You know, coming from Nigeria and coming to this country, you know, with all these opportunities, you know, each day we have a choice, right? I can do what's right, I can do what's wrong, right? I think success is, you know, continuously leaning towards what's right, despite of how stressful it is, despite of you know, the headache that comes with it. I think success is a mentality to me. You know, success is not what people think of you. Success is the work you put in every day. Success to me is, you know, success is being able to tell your truth. You know, success is, you know, having a partner like my wife. You know, if I could sum it all up, you know, I would say, you know, success begins at home. You know, success to me is, you know, having kids that are, you know, are respectful, kids that are healthy, you know, kids that are, you know, that want to be like you, you know. Success is, I think it's so abstract, right? It's whatever you want to make it, you know. But to me, you know, yeah, maybe I will call myself successful, you know. Like, I just don't like to hear it in terms of money, right? Because I think it's arrogant.
No, and
You know?
and I would call you successful,
I'll
which
take
is
it.
which is why you're here.
Yeah.
Is because I look up to you, and I think you emulate a successful person. You know, this is obviously real estate focused, but I think that you're absolutely right. It's on the personal front, and it bleeds into the business, right? And
A happy home is successful.
yeah, a happy home is
happy home.
successful.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
a happy home.
And because money is a part of that. When you know that you don't necessarily have to, right, be out there grinding and killing yourself, and you can take that Sunday off and be with your family. That's success. Like you've done well in your career.
Yes.
So it allows you to have a very, you know, a happy home life, and then vice versa.
Yeah. You know, success is having friends like you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm keeping 100. You know, I've been a fan of yours for a long time.
I've been a fan
You
of
know,
yours for a long time.
and just keeping it real, like, I'm like, how does she do all of this? You know, like,
The feeling is mutual.
I am gonna watch her and I'm gonna keep close to her, because if a tenth of what she does can rub off on me, I'm gonna be all right.
Well, I feel
You know, So
Absolutely the
thank you
same
for
about
having me.
you.
Thank you for having me in your
I-
home. You know,
I adore you, you know.
The fact that you even asked me to be on this
The fact
lets me
that
know
you
that I'm
agreed.
success. I'm like, you know what, like, damn, she looks at me like that.
Hey,
What
it's
am I gonna go
episode
talk
6, Don't
about?
get that excited, okay?
I know you got a lot of
You'll be
people,
back.
you know,
You'll
but
be-
I'm like,
you were the top of the list, but you'll be back. We'll have to
Yeah.
have more conversations. I think this is only the beginning. There's so many
Yes.
things that we talked about that we still like. I feel like we can unpack for
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
episodes, right? They
Yeah.
can be episodes in and of themselves. So
yeah, but thank you very much for your time. Thank you
thank
for
you.
believing in me. Thank you for your, you know, kind and generous
thank you
words.
for making the time.
I
It
wanted to be
means
here.
so much.
You know,
I
like
know, it
no,
means
I
so
wanted to be
much.
here.
It
You know, I
means
was
so
so
much.
mad I had to cancel last week. I was like,
you know what? I was suffering with
Yeah.
a freaking. I needed a root canal,
know.
and I was gonna just fight through it,
Yeah.
and just like because I didn't want to, you know. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
So it's
no,
good. No,
I'm
but thank
thankful
you
for
so
the
much.
opportunity to be a part of your success. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be a part of your life.
Same.
And I'm
Same.
thankful to be in this fraternity together.